Hello, hello. My name is Laura, and today I am so grateful that you're here exploring triangle pose with me, Trikonasana. It's such an exciting pose. It's a wonderful stretch and a wonderful opportunity to strengthen as well. It's great for the legs. It's great for the core, challenges our balance. And when we challenge our balance, maybe sometimes we feel a little bit unsteady through the body, but it can really bring us to a sense of focus in the mind. So do know that if balance is a big challenge for you, then what you might do is come near a wall to practice this posture. So you can be having your yoga mat right up to a wall. You can also instead have a chair available to you. You can have a chair handy and close by, maybe at the side of your mat rather than a wall. So you can lean on that if needed at any point. Good, so I like to use a block for this posture. You might enjoy that too. You can have one handy if you feel that might be helpful to you, and we will go ahead and get started. Let's turn sideways on our mats. So we're facing one of the long edges. I just have placed my block there so I can make use of it when I'm ready. Step your feet apart. So you can take a big step, a couple of steps even heel toeing, scooching your feet apart. The distance of your feet will be dependent on your height, dependent on how much stretching and strengthening you're looking to find today. So the further apart generally, more activating. So you can check in with that, and you can even adjust by simply heel toeing outward or inward as we move along. Wonderful. Now we'll turn the right toes out to the side here. So they point toward the short edge of your mat. Important in this posture is to make sure that you're not locking your knees. That's a nasty habit that I have. So you can invite a micro bend into your knees, calling on your muscles to really stabilize those joints rather than locking them. Beautiful. I'm going to get my block ready here on the inside edge of my right foot. Arms sweeping out. You can take a nice deep breath in. Sense length through your spine, through the sides of your body. And as you exhale, right hand reaches down toward your leg or your block here, turning your palm to face outward. So as you're shifting into this side bending position, make sure that you're not rounding your back, kind of curving into the pose. We try our best to keep nice and long. Sometimes that means staying up in the posture a little bit rather than being tempted to sink down, because then we might fold forward or even over to the side a little bit. So notice that alignment. You might imagine that you're trying to keep your heart open to the side of your mat, or like your left shoulder here is floating above or in the same kind of plane as your right side shoulder. Now check in with the knees again. Maybe the position of the feet, you might scooch your feet further apart or closer together. And notice if left arm gets sleepy, you can tuck it in behind your back. Wonderful. You may feel the challenge for your balance happening here. You can keep your gaze toward the front of your mat here. Or you might, if it feels available, turn the gaze up toward your left fingertips or up toward the sky. Deep breaths. Feel the crown of the head reaching in the same direction as your right side toes. And really honor what feels good for your neck here. Now slowly push through your feet. Keep your core strong as you reach yourself back up. Arms softening down. Good. Now before we transition to the other side, let's bring our block along with us if you're using a block too. Right toes face the long edge of the mat. Left toes now turn to the side. You might feel the effects here in the left side body. Really, we've strengthened through the left side body, all around the waist. You can always rest between sides, so don't feel like there's any rush to be shifting into the opposite side. So we can notice the position of the feet. Right toes pointing toward the side of your mat there, left toes toward the short edge of the mat. Check in with your knees, if that's a habit of yours too, to lock the knee joints. Wonderful. When you're ready, arms can open out wide. Feel the crown of the head lifting. As you exhale, you can tip as if moving from your hips, like you're hinging sideways from your hip joints into your side bend. Palm faces outward. Right arm may reach upward or behind the back. If it is comfortable to have your arm lifted, you could give yourself a lovely assist in this posture by, for a moment, bringing your right hand down to meet the left. And then you can sweep your arm across and open it up toward the sky. So you might even feel that you can guide your shoulder back, your right shoulder, to really open the heart to the side. I'm realizing I didn't even use my block on the opposite side. So you can use your block here. If you feel like you are lowering toward the earth a bit more, then fingertips might come to the block. You can tent them here or even touch your two peace fingers to your block. So if you wish to use one. Good. Sense the length of your spine, strengthening through the legs here, stretching through the backs of the legs. Noticing here's the stretch in right side of the waist. Strengthening through the core to hold yourself hovering. So you're not using your block or your leg to hold yourself up. You're really using your core. Good. And now to come out of the pose, I like to imagine that someone or something, an energetic force, is guiding my right hand up and back, lifting me up. Let your arms relax. Good. And your left toes can point forward. When you're ready, you can either heel toe your feet together or heel toe or spring off out of your wide stance into a mountain pose or toward a standing position. Lovely. Now after that, you may feel the call just to be in mountain pose, in stillness, or perhaps you want to dive into some counter movements like pedaling out through your feet, even some circles for your ankles, shaking your legs, swinging your arms. So you can keep going with your counter response for as long as is needed, as long as feels intuitive for you. Wonderful. And do let me know if you have any questions about that posture, any comments in the comment section below. This is a posture associated with the third chakra, the Manipura chakra, and you might notice that I have Warrior 1 pose, Warrior 2 pose as well, and some other meditations and sequences that are available on my channel also associated with Manipura chakra. So it's very much an energy of like your inner sunshine, your inner fire, igniting that warmth and activation within. So if that's something that you feel drawn to, then do check out those other videos, and I look forward to seeing you there. Thank you, and namaste.